In this wild, the crown is not promised, it is taken. Survival is never just power, it is always a consequence of choice. They call the lion king, but nature doesn't give titles, they are earned. Forget what you've heard. Today we know the truth. Hierarchy is not won by muscle. It is enforced by the unforgiving Savanna. For years, this ruler has held the line on these lands, but every kingdom eventually falls. A new generation arrives. They are after more than the land. They are after the throne. Kingship is not proven in the might of the attack. It is proven in the defiance of the retreat. The greatest danger is not the claw of an outsider. It is the betrayal that comes from within his own. Two young lions, a single purpose. Tonight, the throne may fall. Strength is only half the battle. The full measure is a heart that will not break. Experience always trumps raw power. His scars are not his burden. They are his armor. He won the battle. He has not won the peace. In this land, the challenge never ends. Every victory has a cost, and the debt is due. The wounds are grievous. The breathing is labored. Being king is not a right. It is the absolute burden of command. In the Savanna, rest is a myth. Another challenger is already preparing his move. The throne is not a seat of comfort. It is a ground of perpetual war. He has commanded it today, but the dawn offers no certainty. For the king, the deepest fear is isolation. In solitude, the hunter becomes the hunted. The hyenas do not watch for a chance. They watch for the break in the line. Sheer numbers provide strength, but strength combined with courage becomes unstoppable force. Even the king is not above the law of the wild. When isolated, anyone can be broken. The lion's might is finite. It will eventually break against the wave of the pack. He stands alone for a moment, but he has a pride. His roar is not a challenge, it is a summons. A single call is heard, and the family responds without question. Real strength does not belong to one. It is forged the moment they unite. The force of numbers can challenge the king, but the spirit of the pride is a bond that no enemy can sever. The king's power is not a solo effort. It is earned from the support of his pride. Yet the Savanna is not done with its judgment. A new, relentless trial awaits. Against this adversary, sheer numbers are irrelevant. Even the mightiest lions must give ground. The living wall is here. His hide is armor. His movement is a declaration of war. In this presence, a lion's crown is merely a symbol. The pride makes its final count. This is the moment of truth, battle or surrender. The decision is forged in a fleeting second, but a single error, and the consequence is final. When the conflict is measured in raw power, the king is suddenly the disadvantaged one. The adversary maintains the assault. The lion's moment of doubt is the cue for the fatal blow. Look closely into the lion's gaze. There, for a fleeting moment, defeat is contemplated. Power is not about winning the fight. It's about making sure no one dares to start the next one. The lion may wear the crown, but the one who secures the domain is the silent sentinel. The lion knows his own strength. This prize will not escape him. This is no ordinary herd. Their silent vow, never abandon a single member. The mightiest weapon in the wild is not tooth or claw. It is the singular courage to face death as one. The king concedes the field. The victor is not the biggest, but the most united. The hunter recalculates. An isolated target. The meal is waiting. Just as the moment of defeat is secured, the mightiest power on the planet makes its entrance. A single force. It is the mother. Love is the only weapon stronger than fear. The hard truth of the wild is clear. Genuine courage is born from the need to safeguard another. Nothing else matters. Simply living is the win. Here, sentiment is not a vulnerability. It is the singular force that guarantees survival. Yet the laws of the land do not apply everywhere. Another domain is governed by the shifting rules of water. Even the king of the beasts walks with utmost caution here. The true sovereign of this realm is the master of the current. In his domain of water, he is the sovereign ruler. But on the shore, he is nothing more than a trespasser. The pride does not allow an advantage to pass. With superior numbers, their confidence graduates to ferocity. Yet the hippo does not break his posture. His choice is not to engage, but to deploy a living blockade. Unstoppable weight meets a reckless blow. The king understands. Courage, misplaced, is just a road to ruin. The rules are rewritten on the bank of the river. Speed is irrelevant here. Survival is determined by a single, critical judgment. A hippo's jaw possesses the power to shatter bone instantly. This fact is not lost on the king. Beneath the surface, muscle is irrelevant. The rule of this realm is simple. Who draws the final breath? The wild provides the final lesson. Every conflict has a threshold that cannot be violated. The river is the hippo's undisputed territory. In that domain, his authority is total. As the sun begins its descent, the king carries the day's heavy cost. The battle has ended, but the threat remains. As the sun begins its descent, the king carries the day's heavy cost. The battle has ended, but the threat remains. The king poses a silent question to the fading light. Was it the force of my will that ensured survival, or merely the hand of fate?